Because I put myself out there, I was able to generate well over $20,000 from weddings just because of this one person. And I'm gonna explain to you how I did it. Before we get into it, if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button so you can get more content and more information, because I will be spewing stuff out like this throughout the rest of the year. First of all, if you're going to actually make money, you can't cut corners. One of the fun things about filmmaking is that you can actually make money from it. But the most common question a lot of people will ask is, how do I do that? For me, there are three main things that have allowed me to expand my business and get me to the point where I am now. And I'm going to share that. It's super simple. The first one, practice makes perfect. When I first started filming videos, I started off by making talking head videos. They were about topics, they were super corny, super cheesy, and then I rolled into cinematic videos, and then from there on I made vlogs. This helped me with my on-camera presence, my production and post-production process as well. Allowing this helped me find my niche, and this is simply where you can find your niche as well. The first thing you want to do is think broad, then start to limit yourself to what you really want to do. What role do you want to play? Do you want to do photography or videography? Do you want to be an editor, a director, a gaffer, which means lighting? Do you want to do wedding photography, food photography? What exactly is your niche? There are so many different roles that you can play in this industry, and that's the greatest thing about this art. Filmmaking is one thing, so obviously I love specializing in filmmaking, but I was also able to dive into photography. Putting yourself in these positions can help find out what you actually like, but the biggest thing to remember is you don't necessarily have to lock onto a specific niche. So if you like to direct, you can still direct, but you don't necessarily have to just solidify yourself in that role. You can also learn about editing. You can also learn about cameras. There's such a huge range of things that you can do, and the sky is genuinely the limit. It's important to mix around, have fun, try out the different things that you want to do, and then from there you can also start to go into the different niches and the different subjects that are centered around both photography or filmmaking. So pick up that camera, find the role that you actually want to be in, then pick the subject that you feel that you are most drawn to. The second thing is building connections. Through consistent practice, you'll develop skills that others will naturally notice. For me, it's a little different because I started at such a young age. I made gaming videos on end, and I would also share this with my classmates all the way up until I was about 13. Friends would see that, they'd be like, oh my goodness, Gabe, like, you make gaming videos, can I get in on the action? They would want to be in the videos. Or friends who were also starting YouTube channels asked me to help them create those intros. I was charging like small fees, like $5 to $20 to make these videos for my friends and whatnot. And this is kind of where the entrepreneurial mindset started to expand a little bit. Fast forward to high school, when I picked up a camera, friends started to see that my YouTube channel was also starting to gain a little bit of attraction. I was telling friends about the videos that I was making, I was sharing it around, and then on top of that, I started to use what I was creating to get myself onto the school's news team. I was able to also then enhance my skills even further and be able to create the stuff that I wanted to create, so that way people would see that it's like, oh, Gabe, like, he makes videos, like, this is his type of style, he's actually good at what he does. And it really helped me that my face was everywhere because of this. From there, people started to put a face to the content that I was making, and this also helped me for my YouTube channel as well. And this is a big thing that really helps with the connections, because now that they saw my face, if they wanted to go to somebody who only did video, they could be like, oh yeah, Gabe's the one who does this, he does this on the ground, like, this is what he does. And that honestly helped me a lot. So through my school, I was able to build connections, and I pretty much established that same idea all the way up until college. The more people who knew I was doing camera work, whether it was filming and I was also doing photography, the more my name got passed around. And there were just people that I didn't even know who knew what I was doing. And this helped a lot. It's really important to capitalize on this second step. It really helps when people are talking about filmmaking or photography, they can associate your name with those two subjects of art. And that way, that will get the ball rolling. You're building connections. Super easy step. There are many ways to build connections. You don't necessarily have to do it just all physically, but doing most of this in person is the best way. So it's a lot easier for somebody to associate your face with your brand or business. The third thing, building your portfolio. After a while of honing in on my skills and getting a few people in my circle, friends were literally down to help me build my own portfolio. About 90% of the work that I did in high school was literally for free. I mean, even up until college, I was still doing some stuff for free. Building your portfolio is what is going to get you the gigs. It's going to get you more money, and it's going to allow you to invest in your own business or your brand or whatever you're trying to achieve. There would be many instances where I would approach a friend and be like, hey, like, you kind of have like a model physique. Do you want to do a photo shoot? Or friends want to hang out, and I'd bring the camera along. They're like, Gabe's bringing the camera. Like, if you go on my website today, you can see all the photos that I was taking. Some of those shoots were paid and some of those shoots were done for free. But because of that, and because of me being able to reach out to my friends and my friends being so willing to help me, I was able to build my portfolio. And I'm so thankful for all of that still to this day. Doing work for free will also allow you to get paying clients. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around in the beginning because at first you're like, this is so futile. But once you start to establish yourself and kind of also do a favor for whoever you're doing for, trust me, in the end, it definitely works. And I'm going to further elaborate on this. So after those 3 steps, 1, practice makes perfect. 2, building those connections and building your portfolio. Let's talk about how I made this $20,000. So in high school, I didn't really become popular with the video world until my junior year. Because of that, there were many friends who did associate me with video. My friend Trent, he actually had reached out to me to actually shoot his wedding video. Now, I knew Trent all the way from high school. Super cool guy. I sat down with him and his fiance had a meeting, and I was like, okay, like, do you have an idea on what you want to create for this wedding? And he was like, no, I'm going to give you all creative control. You guys go out and you just do your thing. And because of that, he allowed me to open a whole entire new door into the wedding industry. So from that wedding, I charged them $400 for a highlight video for the ceremony and the reception all in one. I gave them a digital delivery through Google Drive, and they absolutely enjoyed the video. Because of that, when my friend Kaylee reached out to me and said, Gabe, do you do wedding videos as well? I was able to then say, hey, yeah, I do. I actually have done a wedding video. And on top of that, you know, this is my style of shooting. When I sat down and I had that meeting with her and her fiance, you know, they did the same exact thing, gave me creative control. And this time, furthermore, it was a couple years later, but I was much more better at what I was doing. I posted that one to YouTube, which you can actually go see on my channel. And from that video, another friend reached out to me. I actually just got engaged. Will you come shoot this wedding for me in 2023? And that is where the ball started to roll. Still to this day, people are consistently referring me for the wedding industry, even though it's not my main thing. All these people trust me with their vision. In the subject of wedding filmmaking, in these past almost 2 years, I've been able to generate well over $20,000 because of my friend Trent. It only took one person to get the ball rolling. And because he was able to trust me and see that the stuff that I had been creating was actually good, that also allowed other people to then invest in my skills and my business. But again, the whole entire journey hasn't been easy. You're not gonna be able to go find somebody that's willing to pay $5,000, $6,000 if you're just starting right out of the gate. That's why it's important to make sure that practice makes perfect. You build those connections and then you build your portfolio. And trust me when I say this, somebody's gonna look at your skills and they're gonna say it is a necessity to use your services. But again, I truly do say it only does take one person to get that ball rolling. There's nothing more powerful than the word of mouth and for people to refer you for their business needs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.